Europe to Asia, the financial crisis is hitting the airline industry. The Spanish low-cost airline LTE says it is suspending services because it cannot cover the cost of operating. A statement on its website says the 20-year-old company is doing everything to minimize the impact on clients and providers. Hundreds of British holidaymakers are being flown home on other airlines. Just last year, India was touted as having the fastest-growing aviation industry in the world. Times have changed. Two of India's fiercest competing budget airlines have been crippled by the current crisis, and they're now joining hands to keep on flying. But as Sarah Seidner tells us, employees are feeling grounded by the move.
Confusion and anger spews from airline employees caught off guard by layoffs.
You have your job. If you'll get a letter tonight that you have been terminated, you can expect how much anger we have.
One day later, protests and politics converge to get their jobs reinstated, even though their industry is now on shaky ground in India. They, like the rest of the world, got caught up in the hype surrounding India's fast-growing aviation industry. Just last year, industry analysts said passenger traffic was growing by 40% per year, more than anywhere else in the world. It seemed the sky was the limit for business and job opportunities. It now appears there is a ceiling. With a few words and a hug, the owners of two of India's homegrown, fiercely competitive airlines, Jet Airways and Kingfisher, announced they would form an alliance in order to save their companies from collapse.
Whether Jet Airways lays off people or Kingfisher lays off people, we're going to cut our costs and synergize and become profitable. That's the objective.
The state-run carriers are also considering major cost-cutting measures. In total, Indian carriers are projected to lose $2 billion this year alone. So what happened to India's aviation industry boom? Several factors, including the global financial crisis, the devaluation of the rupee, a spike in gas prices, and insufficient infrastructure. But airline industry analyst Ankur Bhatia says the worst was the dirt-cheap fares they couldn't possibly maintain.
The thing which went wrong was selling your product below your production cost. And, you know, there is a domino effect of that. You keep on accumulating your losses to a certain extent.
Analysts say only about 2 to 3% of Indians actually travel by plane. The rest travel by train. And now that plane tickets have gone so high, people are returning to the traditional mode of travel.
I will try and take the train where the journey is not too long.
In these difficult economic times, many people are cutting costs, but they seem to have little sympathy for high-flying big business that is now asking the Indian government for an interest-free billion-dollar loan. It doesn't look likely. Sarah Seidner, CNN, New Delhi.